12 Stoic lessons. The narcissists cycle after you go, completely silent. Sculpted grace. Soft ambient music fades in. The tone is calm but heavy with presence. There's a point in every person's life when the noise of the world starts to drown out their own voice. When ambition turns into anxiety. When success feels hollow. When you look around and realize that despite all the progress, something within still feels chaotic. That's when you begin to search for stillness, something deeper than pleasure, louder than applause. And somewhere in the pages of ancient history, you find a philosophy that whispers the kind of truths that modern life has forgotten. It doesn't promise happiness through possessions or status. It doesn't tell you to chase every desire or emotion. Instead, it teaches you how to endure, how to see clearly, how to live with integrity and calmness, even when the world burns around you. This is Stoicism, not a religion, not a trend, but a way of being, a way to become unshakable in a world built on uncertainty. These are 12 Stoic lessons that can change your life. Lessons from the hearts and minds of those who lived through empires, wars, exile, and loss, and still found peace within. Let's begin. 1. Control what you can. Accept what you can't. The first lesson sounds simple, almost too simple, until life forces you to live it. Control what you can. Accept what you can't. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, ruled over millions, yet even he couldn't control fate. Plagues spread, wars erupted, betrayal lingered in his own court, but he wrote in his meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength every day. We waste energy trying to fix the unfixable, the weather, the opinions of others, the past. But the Stoics understood that peace isn't about bending the world to your will. It's about mastering your reaction to it. When you divide life into two categories, what's within your control and what's not, you begin to see how much unnecessary suffering comes from confusing the two. In modern life, this means letting go of your obsession with outcomes. You can prepare for the job, but not control the hiring manager. You can love deeply, but not decide if someone stays. The only domain you ever truly command is your inner state, your thoughts, your actions, your character. And when you anchor yourself in that truth, the chaos outside no longer holds power over you. 2. The obstacle is the way. When life blocks your path, most people stop. But the Stoic looks at the obstacle and sees a hidden invitation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." It's one of the most powerful lines in all of philosophy, because it turns pain into purpose. Every obstacle you've faced, every heartbreak, every failure, every closed door, carries within it the seed of your transformation. You don't grow when things are easy. You grow when you're tested. Seneca, exiled from Rome, wrote some of his most profound works in isolation. Epictetus, born a slave, found freedom through wisdom, not circumstance. So, when life says no, the Stoic doesn't retreat. He looks for the lesson. He learns to ask, how can this make me stronger, wiser, better? The obstacle is no longer a wall. It becomes a mirror, showing you what you need to build within yourself. In your life, it might mean using heartbreak to learn compassion, using rejection to find your true calling, using failure as a map, not a dead end. The Stoics believed every setback, when faced with virtue, is fuel. The obstacle isn't blocking your path. It is the path. 3. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. It sounds grim, but memento mori isn't about death. It's about life. The Stoics meditated daily on mortality, not to be morbid, but to remind themselves what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius would tell himself every morning, "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do, say, and think. When you faced your mortality honestly, you stop wasting time. You stop chasing trivial arguments and meaningless possessions. You realize that everything, every sunrise, every laugh, every breath, is a gift slipping through your fingers. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short life, but that we waste much of it." Memento mori teaches urgency with grace. It reminds you to call your loved ones, to forgive, to create, to live without waiting for a perfect moment that will never come. We are all temporary guests on borrowed time. The Stoic doesn't fear death. He uses it as a compass, to live well, to love deeply, to make each moment count. 4. Amor fati. Love your fate. Acceptance is powerful, but love is divine. Amor fati means love your fate, not tolerate it, not endure it, love it. It's the art of seeing every twist and turn, every heartbreak, every delay, every detour, as essential to your becoming. When life doesn't go your way, the average person resists. They curse fate. They say, "Why me?" But the Stoic says, "Why not me?" The Stoic knows that fate isn't the enemy, it's the sculptor. It shapes you, tests you, and chisels you into something greater. Nietzsche would later echo this sentiment, saying, "My formula for greatness is amor fati," that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. In practical life, this means when plans fall apart, you don't collapse, you adapt. When someone betrays you, you don't drown in bitterness, you learn discernment. The Stoic doesn't fight what is. He embraces it, because he knows every chapter, even the painful ones, belong to the same story. Amor fati isn't passive. It's radical acceptance in motion, the choice to love reality, even when it breaks your heart. 5. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that stays lit through the night. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The Stoics understood that true freedom isn't the ability to do whatever you want. It's the strength to do what's right, even when you don't want to. You won't always feel inspired. Some mornings you'll wake up tired, anxious, unmotivated. But discipline, your commitment to act regardless of mood, is what builds character. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I am rising to do the work of a human being.'" In your life, this means showing up to your craft, your health, your values, even when it's inconvenient. Discipline transforms chaos into order. It's what turns goals into habits, and habits into destiny. Motivation gets you started. Discipline carries you through. The Stoic trains not for applause, but for mastery of self. 6. Focus on virtue, not success. Modern life tells you to chase success, followers, fame, wealth. Stoicism says, chase virtue. To the Stoics, virtue, meaning moral excellence, was the only true good. Everything else was indifferent. Wealth, beauty, status, they're tools, not treasures. Seneca warned, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." He meant that chasing externals only creates endless desire. Virtue, however, is internal. It's how you act when no one's watching. It's your courage, your integrity, your justice, your self-control. Success is fickle, here one day, gone the next. But virtue? Virtue builds a foundation nothing can shake. In practice, this means when faced with choices, ask, what is the right thing to do? Not, what will make me look better, or what will make me richer. The Stoic measures success not by applause but by alignment with his principles. When virtue becomes your compass, you can't be lost. 7. Choose your response. Epictetus was born a slave, beaten, and stripped of rights, yet he became one of the most powerful philosophers in history. How? By realizing one thing, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Life will test you, people will insult you, things will fall apart. But between stimulus and response, there is a sacred space, and in that space lies your freedom. You can't control what others do, but you can always choose your response. That choice defines your character. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. You can rage, honk, curse, or you can breathe, smile, and move on. Both options take energy. Only one preserves peace. The Stoic learns to pause, to let reason catch up before emotion takes over. That pause is where growth happens. That pause is where wisdom lives. 8. Live according to nature. To the Stoics, nature wasn't about forests or oceans. It meant living in harmony with the natural order of things. We suffer because we resist reality. We want things to go our way. We demand the world fit our expectations. But nature doesn't rush, doesn't cling, doesn't complain. It simply is. To live according to nature means to live with reason, acceptance, and virtue. It means understanding that loss, change, and impermanence are not mistakes. They are the rhythm of life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change." When you embrace change as natural, you stop fearing it. In modern terms, this might mean accepting that people grow apart, careers shift, health fluctuates. When you live with nature, you flow. When you resist, you break. Peace comes not from controlling life, but from dancing with it. 9. Practice negative visualization. The Stoics had a powerful daily practice, premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They would imagine losing everything, health, loved ones, fortune, not to depress themselves, but to appreciate what they had. Seneca wrote, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." By imagining loss, you build resilience. You make peace with impermanence. And when real challenges come, they don't crush you because you've met them before in your mind. It's not pessimism, it's gratitude. When you imagine the absence of what you love, your heart expands for what's still here. Try it. Before bed, imagine waking up tomorrow without the people or comforts you take for granted. Feel the ache, then let gratitude flood in. This practice turns fear into presence. It teaches you that everything is temporary and therefore infinitely precious. 10. Seek progress, not perfection. Stoicism isn't about becoming perfect, it's about becoming better. Marcus Aurelius kept a private journal where he confessed his flaws, examined his anger, and reminded himself of his principles. He wasn't performing for anyone. He was sculpting his soul day by day. The Stoic doesn't aim to never fall. He aims to rise faster every time he does. In our perfection-driven culture, people hide their flaws, but the Stoic owns them, studies them, learns from them. Progress is humble. It's one good choice after another. It's a process, not a pose. Perfection is a mirage. Progress is the path. 11. Serve something greater than yourself. Marcus Aurelius ruled as emperor, yet saw himself not as a ruler, but as a servant. What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bee, he wrote. To live well, you must live beyond yourself. When life becomes only about you, your comfort, your gain, your image, it becomes hollow. But when you dedicate your actions to something bigger, family, community, humanity, truth, meaning fills the void. Stoicism teaches that we're all part of a larger order. The Stoic asks not, what can I take, but what can I give? Service humbles the ego. It aligns you with purpose. It turns existence into contribution. 12. The present moment is all you have. Marcus Aurelius said, confine yourself to the present. The past is memory. The future is imagination. The only real place you can ever live is now. We waste years replaying mistakes or fearing outcomes. The Stoic knows both are illusions. Peace is found only in presence. This breath, this moment, this task in front of you. Seneca warned, while we wait for life, life passes. The Stoic doesn't wait to live. He lives fully, attentively, gratefully. Every sunrise is a reminder. Time is slipping. Don't miss it worrying about what's already gone or what might come. Now is all we ever have, and it's enough. These 12 Stoic lessons are not just ideas, they are tools. Weapons against despair, compasses for confusion, anchors in a storm. They remind us that peace isn't the absence of chaos. It's mastery of the self amid chaos. As Marcus wrote, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, so be one. Not someday. Not when life is easier. Now. This is sculpted grace, reminding you the world will always test you, but how you respond will define you. Music fades out. Silence, then stillness.